Well, I didn't think I was going to be making this type of video, but nevertheless, let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So if you guys are new, my name's Matthew, and as you can see from the ice rink, I work on a cruise ship and I'm a professional figure skater in the ice show on Explorer of the Seas. In this video, I'm going to be telling you all about the reasons why I'm leaving the ship, unfortunately. It's all happening very fast, so I will be leaving in the next couple of days, and I wanted to make the video, first of all, to just set the tone right, because unfortunately in show business, rumours and speculation can travel very fast. I want to make sure by making this video I set the tone right, so you guys know exactly what's happened, why I'm leaving the ship early, and I want you guys to be along there with me. So let's get into the video and see why I'm leaving the ship early. Alright, so I'm going to backtrack all the way to February, and just to give you a backstory, I was on this ship for 8 months already at this point. I'd gone home for 2 weeks because I was extending to be with my girlfriend, so that contract would have been over 12 to 13 months, something like that, thereabouts. And by law and by your visa terms, you're not allowed to stay on a ship more than 12 months. So the only option to do was to send me home for 2 weeks, and then I was going to come back and do the full thing again. When I did my first contract, I was desperate to get extended into the next cast, for one, because there was a few people in the cast that I knew that I was good friends with, but mainly it's because Ellie's a dancer and we get hired at different times. I ended up asking if I could extend, and luckily for me, I did get it. So that was a huge blessing. I got to go home for 2 weeks, spend some time with my family and stuff like that. But unfortunately for me, something happened when I came back to the ship, which I can't explain why it happened. I don't know how it happened, but nevertheless, let's get into it. What had happened to me was I realized that I started growing a little lump on my elbow. I'll zoom in for you here, but as you can see, there's quite a predominant lump on my elbow there. To be totally honest with you, like, I didn't fall in the show, I didn't fall on warm-up ice, and granted, being an ice skater, you do fall quite a lot, but at the end of the day, I can't remember significantly a moment where I ended up banging my elbow so bad that it swelled. If there's any athletes watching, then you guys will know, especially ice skaters, if you fall and hit something and it hurts, you usually just wait and it goes away. And it's been no different. I've skated for 20 years. I can't remember how many times I've fallen, probably over 10,000 times. This thing swelled up pretty bad, and it was just one of those cases, you know, like all the other times I've fallen, that where I was like, do you know what, it'll go down over time. Like, just put ice on it, put a compression band on it, it'll be fine, it'll go away. Well, unfortunately for me, it didn't go away. About a month later of it slowly, gradually getting bigger and bigger, I decided to go to the medical. I explained the situation. I said, I don't know how I did it. I don't know why it's happened or where it's come from. I was a little bit concerned, so I thought, do you know what? Let's just go to the medical and see what they have to say. It might just be a case of it needs ice, or at the very worst, we could have it drained. So not really that bad. He offered that we get it drained, so they put me down on the table and they stuck this huge needle in it all the way down to my elbow. It was about that deep, and they syringed it out, and it was just thick, solid red blood. It went straight down, the skin tightened up again, and it went back to normal. I was totally fine. About a week after having that done, in a rehearsal, you know, like I was saying, we fall, it happens. It was a toe pick, which if you guys aren't ice skaters, we have the toe pick, which is at the front of the skate. As I was going around a corner, the toe pick went in. I went head first like a dolphin, tried to protect myself, and the first thing that took the blow was my elbow. So with doing that, unfortunately, it did swell again and it filled up with blood. This time, it got a little bit larger, so I was even more concerned. Once again, went back to medical and explained the situation, told them that I'd had a fall. The problem was this time, is that when they did it again, they realized there was a lot more blood inside this sack of fluid. Ended up making me hold the needle. I was holding the needle like this, so he took the syringe bit off, clipped it back on, and then drained the rest of the blood. And that kind of made me a little bit worried, to be honest, because I was like, this thing's getting worse. I've noticed that every time I do the show or go to the gym and I perform, my body gets hot, of course, and it swells it even more, it gets larger. But then it cools down once my body's like calmed down, you know. But anytime I'm hot, anytime I'm out in port in the sun and it gets hot, it starts to swell up like crazy. I can't lean on anything to do work. I'm nervous of falling on it in the show because at the end of the day, I don't want to fall and have a sack of blood burst inside my arm. And unfortunately, the senior doctor on board said that he doesn't want to drain it anymore because the chance of sticking a needle in me again and again and again causes higher risk of me getting an infection, and the last thing he wants is like a pool of blood getting infected inside my skin. So I was like, okay, that makes total sense. So what they did was they ordered me an appointment in Athens, Greece, to go and get a hospital checkup and just to have a look, do an MRI, maybe an X-ray as well to see what's going on. So I got off the ship, they took me straight to the hospital, and then we started the MRI. And if anyone's had an MRI, It was my first time, and I'm not lying. That thing's pretty scary. I then had a one-on-one speak with the doctor, and he told me what my diagnosis was, where we were going to do the treatment, how we were going to do it, and etc. The doctor then basically told me that I had bursitis. So what bursitis is, it's a swelling, and you can get it in your elbow, your shoulders, your knees, your ankles, any joint areas. And basically what that is where you have blunt trauma, so like what I had potentially, or it could be something as simple as you sit down on the desk typing away on your keyboard or on your phone, and you lean on your elbows too frequently, and that can cause the swelling on your elbow. It's a sac of fluid that protects the elbow joint, and yeah, that's basically what I have. But unfortunately for me, with it being syringed twice, them draining it twice, and they think it's going to keep coming back, the doctor said that I need surgery. I was like, oh my God. So unfortunately for me, it will sadly leave me with a scar. Granted, I don't have a single scar on my body, considering I have blades on my feet, but I've not got a single scar on my body, so it was quite unfortunate to hear, you know, like it's something that you obviously don't want to deal with. You wish you could just get it drained and then it would go away, but for my case, it's not the case at all. He said, all right, no problem, you can come back next week and we'll do the surgery for you. So I thought, right, that's fine. And I just went back to the ship. Told them a medical, and yeah, medical basically said that, okay, so you need to come back tomorrow and you're going to have an evaluation with the doctor. He's going to check your MRI scans that the hospital has sent to the ship so he can look over them. You know, the senior doctor and everyone on board has to look at the stuff that the hospital said, and then everyone's on the same table. To my understanding, at that time of yesterday when I was at the hospital, I was going to have the surgery, I was going to rest for 2 weeks and be back in the show and still have another 7 weeks left of my contract. But unfortunately, things were not going to be the case because the ship would prefer me to go home on medical sign-off. And if you guys don't know what medical sign-off is, basically that is when the ship will send you home to have a certain treatment or an operation or a surgery, a minor surgery for my example. I will be leaving my contract early. I'll be leaving roughly 2 months early. I'm getting signed off medically. I'm not getting fired, nothing like that. I will be coming back. I have my contract on my next ship in February, so I'm looking forward to doing that. You know, at the end of the day, I wish I could change it and I wish I could stay here with this team, but unfortunately, once the hospital told the ship that I needed surgery, it was completely taken out of my hands. So in one way, it's nice because I'm going home to see my family. I've been away for what, almost 11 months now. It should have been 7 months, but now it's been 11 because I extended to be with my girlfriend. I haven't left a contract ever, and it really, really sucks knowing that it's been taken out of my hands because of something I can't control. I'd love nothing more than to finish my contract, finish my extension, like that's what I wanted to do. But unfortunately, it has been taken out of my hands, so it's a real shame. So yeah, I want to take this time right now to say thank you to my amazing girl, Ellie, for being here this entire time. I know she's not here right now. She actually left 2 weeks ago because her contract finished and I had to stay an extra 2 months to finish my extension. So I want to say a massive thank you to Ellie, and I love you lots. Mum and Dad are going to be looking forward to having me back soon, so that is at least one nice thing. It's going to be nice to see them again after such a long time of being apart. And I want to say a massive thank you to my employers, which are Royal Caribbean, of course, for giving me the opportunity to travel the world and skate in such a cool ice rink with amazing people. They're the ones that I really care about the most right now, is the ice cast that I'm leaving behind and the ice cast that was here 7 months ago. And just before we go, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that watches my YouTube videos. Now, of course, I'm a small channel, but just one video of mine got 500,000 views, and that is mental. I've got more likes on that video than I've got subscribers, so if you could do me a favor and subscribe, you'd help me out hugely because I'm about to be unemployed. And I'm actually thinking, once I've recovered, is setting up a new channel. So it's going to be stuff about like life stuff, not just about cruise ships. Like I do diving, I do boxing, I play golf, I have a good time with friends and stuff. I go to theme parks, you know, I live a normal life besides skating and doing cruise ships. So I'd like to make a channel around that. So if you guys are interested, then that will be coming soon. I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and I'm not going to be too far in the distant future. I'm just taking a bit of time off. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a good rest of your day, and I'm going to go get this fixed. So see you later, everyone.